Welcome. This is the Garnet and Gold Preseason Special. Here's Sports Director Brad Dalton and Dave Griffiths.
Well, hello there. Welcome to our FSU Football Garnet and Gold Spring Football Special, live outside of Doak Campbell Stadium. I'm WTXL ABC 27 Sports Director Brad Dalton.
And I'm Dave Griffiths. Over the next half hour, we will take a look back at the spring practice that was 15 practices, recapping what the Noles have been working on to get ready for that kickoff 140 days from now in North Texas against Oklahoma State.
You know, Dave, I can't help but look back. Last time we were together for one of these football specials, we were actually outside of the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California, where we were watching Florida State win a national championship. And just judging from today, all the fans that are out here, that excitement certainly has not died down.
Not a chance. What a trip that was. If you have a chance to take a look at the national champions, well, you're certainly going to take full advantage of it. Let's go inside Doak Campbell Stadium and look at the highlights from today's game. Jameis Winston playing for the Garnet team, the gold team, though would strike first. Sean McGuire in at quarterback. He has plenty of time from his offensive line, looking deep over the middle, and finds Rashad Golston in the end zone for a touchdown. Just like that, Gold leads 7-0. Garnet taking over with the ball. Jameis Winston himself this time, looking over the middle. Ball deflected high, and then right into the arms of Jalen Ramsey. Right place, right time. Great interception for Ramsey. Garnet again, trying again to get something going. Still trailing at this time. Winston looking deep. This is Bobo Wilson at the other end of it, but P.J. Williams forces the fumble and recovers himself. Some turnover issues for the Garnet in the first half. Near the end, though, they would take advantage of getting deep inside Gold territory. Winston looking to one of his favorite receivers. That's Rashad Green in the end zone for a touchdown. The Garnet would take the lead there at the end of the half. We'll go to the second half. Garnet able to really turn up the pressure on the Gold, and that's because they have Jameis Winston at quarterback. It's pretty understandable. Winston in the end zone to Bobo Wilson. He would not drop it this time. The Garnet takes out the Gold. Final score 31-14. Here's Jimbo Fisher after the game.
Good clean play. Thought you saw some youth in some positions early. It showed, and then they grew as the game went on. I think it was a great time to get out there on that field and have to play in that environment. But overall, I was not displeased at all. I liked what I saw.
You know, it wasn't great. You know, I put a few balls on the ground, you know. But other than that, I felt like I went out there and I played hard, most importantly. You know, I competed it. I understood what I was doing, you know. And, you know, just got to keep working on the little things and, you know, keep competing, you know, on my technique and stuff like that. But, I felt like I played a good game.
Bit of a slow start to the game, Brad, but it certainly picked up with a lot of offense.
Yeah, the fans really got a treat. They got to see good plays on both sides of the ball. Jameis Winston, of course, he never disappoints. He's always going to have a lot of fun when he's out there, but it's that secondary for FSU. We were worried, we're losing Terrence Brooks, we're losing LaMarcus Joyner, but P.J. Williams, oh my goodness, the play that he made on Bobo Wilson, running him down from behind. It got beat on the play, but never gave up, came away with a big turnover.
And then Jalen Ramsey with a great interception just to stay ready to catch that ball when it comes down to it.
These are two Seminole teams going against each other. I know they're teammates, they're brothers in the locker room, but they were not taking it easy on each other at all. Some of the biggest hits that we've heard in a long time coming from that FSU defense. But it's not just the current players and next year's team that we were out here to watch. It's also past Seminoles that were back here. It's really become one of the most popular parts of Florida State spring football. At halftime, former Seminole greats returning for a little flag football action. Names like Charlie Ward and Peter Warwick have all come back in the past, all reliving their glory days right on that same field where they made so many memories. This year, it was no different. Former players sharing in this post-national championship hangover as they're now excited to see exactly what's going on here over in Tallahassee.
It's always great, just to come back and, be able to get around the same atmosphere that, that you grew up playing in. Also just seeing, the current team and seeing all the great players that's on the field and, them coming off a national championship win. I mean, it's a great feeling to be out here.
To come out here and revamp the memories that we had with the former players and come to see the growth of the Florida State nation.
Well, one of those former players that took part in the halftime festivities joining me now, nice enough, David Castillo, former offensive lineman from a few years back. David, well, first off, how are you feeling from taking part back on the field?
Well, it was great. It was great to be back on the field again, and luckily I didn't get hurt. I don't have a great track record with spring football, so it was nice that I get to go out there with some of my former teammates and some of the other Seminole greats out there, and I didn't get hurt. Nobody really got hurt, so it was good. Good time.
Well, one of the things that we always talk about is, the feeling of camaraderie, whether you're a current Seminole or a former Seminole. How does it feel now that we all say the national champion Florida State Seminole team?
Oh, that's fantastic, and that's something we all shoot for. That's why you come to Florida State, is to win national championships, and anything less than that, I mean, it could be a good season, but it's not up to Florida State standards. So it's great to hear that, that Crystal Trophy is back where it belongs in Tallahassee, and all the former players can't be any prouder of Coach Fisher, the coaching staff, and the guys in that locker room.
One of the things Coach Fisher has really done is rebuild the program as a whole, where now it's kind of just reloading. Now, they're losing a lot last year and this year to the NFL draft, but you were able to watch some of the spring game. What are some of your impressions of this young talent on the Noles team?
Well, it's just that, they're very young and they're still very, very talented, and they're very deep. And that's something that some of the great Seminole teams in the past had, that, our second string and some of even our third string players could be starting in most programs in the country. So now it's like a guy gets hurt, the next guy's ready to step up and play, and these guys, are gaining experience, and they're getting better, they're getting bigger, stronger, and quicker every single day, and they're really becoming great football players.
I want to look back about what you were best known for, and that's protecting the quarterback, and that's very important when you have a guy like Jameis Winston behind you. Now, we're losing the center, but the rest of the line is back. But how important is that center position? I don't think people realize just how much it takes. He is the quarterback of that offensive line.
Yeah, it's very important. You need somebody up there to kind of direct traffic and kind of help the quarterback out. And, offensive line in general, it's important to have, cohesiveness and have guys that can play together and learn, your tendencies and learn how to become, to be able to double team and who's coming off blocks, things like that. So anytime you lose somebody, it's tough. But luckily, they've had guys that played a lot last year and got experience, and Coach Trickett does a really good job of shifting their linemen around. So if somebody gets hurt, they shift a tackle to a guard or vice versa. So that, they're very versatile, and guys can play a lot of positions, and I'm not worried about them at all. I think they're going to be great again this year.
And while I have you here, let's go ahead a little bit at next year. You stayed here in Tallahassee. You're a Seminole alum. You're a Seminole fan. Big season ahead. We've got Notre Dame, Clemson, Florida all coming into Tallahassee. That has to make you really excited about next year.
I'm very excited. This is one of the best home schedules we've had in a long time, and I'm hoping we go Dallas to Dallas, but I'm very excited about the home schedule. The Notre Dame game, there's just so many good ones. But this is probably, we have definitely a tougher schedule than we've had in quite a while, and I'm excited about that, because if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So I think we're ready for it.
Yeah, we all are looking forward to next year. Of course, you had the alumni game at halftime. That's not the only halftime festivity that we had. Dave Griffith is going to talk more about some awards that were handed out by head coach Jimbo Fisher.
Brad, every spring Florida State does hand out spring football awards to both offensive and defensive players, the top players on both sides of the ball. Let's take a look at some of that video from halftime. The MVP of the offensive team last year, Cam Irving, well, he repeats this year, and also his offensive line teammate Josue Matias joins him as most outstanding offensive player. Outstanding defensive player goes to Eddie Goldman. Didn't play, unfortunately, today with an injury, but the Noles expect to have him back next season. The Matt Schmock Award, given for strong work in the classroom, goes to Rashad Green. Green in a green practice, non-contact jersey today. Still did catch that touchdown you saw. And the Heisman Award, given to the best overall spring, goes to 3 different players. Jalen Ramsey, also P.J. Williams, and, of course, Jameis Winston. Brad, you kind of expected Jameis was going to win the Heisman.
Well, after the performance that we saw today, I kind of expected all 3 of those to walk away with that award, because Jalen Ramsey and P.J. Williams also having huge games in the secondary. A lot of fun that we've all had out there. The fans were getting into this game. We just talked with David Castillo, the old players coming back. They were into this game. They were just as excited as everybody else, and we got a good look at what Florida State's going to look like next year.
And so far, we've talked so much about today, but we have to look back at the spring practice that was, and any look back has to start with Jameis Winston. What can he do next year to even improve on his Heisman winning campaign? That answer when WTXL ABC 27's Garnet and Gold Spring Football Special continues.
Returning from the dead is more than a phenomenon.
They're saying he's not even human.
It's the #1 new drama.
He was there, and then he wasn't.
Jacob!
I can't lose him again.
I'm pregnant. You're still in love with her, aren't you?
And it just keeps getting better.
You don't even know what you are, do you?
Resurrection, new Sunday at 9/8 Central on ABC. And see full episodes anytime on Watch ABC and ABC On Demand.
The Garnet and Gold Preseason Special on WTXL ABC 27 is brought to you by the following sponsors: Florida Cancer Specialists, Kia Autosport, Dr. Ronald Willis of Centerpoint Dental, Tallahassee Community College, Bob's Auto Repair and Collision, and Kraft Nissan.
I chose a college
where my success is valued,
my future enhanced.
I chose a quality education with a personal touch,
a gateway to universities
and careers,
and a door to the world.
More than 700 courses
and 80 programs, online learning and smaller classes,
with courses that fit my schedule and budget.
I chose Tallahassee Community College.
It's your choice.
Tallahassee Community College.
Welcome back to Doe Campbell Stadium for WTXL ABC 27's Garnet and Gold preseason special with Brad Dalton. I'm Dave Griffiths. In 2013, our top story in the spring was a quarterback battle. Brad, what a difference a year makes.
Yeah, Jameis Winston really took that battle, ran with the ball. He's not giving it back until he decides to leave Florida State. I think he's always going to be behind center. I don't think we've ever seen any kind of athlete have the overall impact on just the entire athletics program as Jameis Winston.
In his first year starting at quarterback, Jameis Winston rewrote the record books, won the Heisman Trophy, and led the Noles to a perfect season and third national title in school history. Well, that would be enough for most people, but Winston, he's determined to be even better in 2014.
I always want to get better, and having coaches like Coach Fisher and Coach Sanders, I'm never going to be the type of guy to just sit back and just let things go, and I know they ain't going to let stuff pass them.
Jameis had a tremendous year and won the Heisman, but there's still a lot of things that we have to work on fundamentally to get better, knowledge of our offense, and the only way you do that is take reps.
Trying to find the time to improve on the gridiron isn't very easy because Winston also seeing action on the baseball diamond. For the second straight year, Winston also a part of the Seminole baseball team. A move encouraged by football head coach Jimbo Fisher, but one that he also keeps a very close eye on.
He's seen, it was funny, last year, the days he threw with us football and during football season is when he had his highest velocities. That use went pretty good, but we'll keep a close eye so we definitely don't want to injure in any way, shape, or form.
Winston is pulling double duty this weekend. Now that the spring football game is over, he's heading up to Atlanta to join the baseball team for the final game of the series against Georgia Tech tomorrow afternoon.
Winston has had quite the jam-packed spring, shuttling back and forth between football practice and baseball games. But even though Winston is the most famous two-sport athlete on the Florida State football team, he's certainly not the only one.
How do you juggle closing for the top-ranked baseball team in the nation with 15 spring football practices? To Jameis Winston, it's simple.
Me and Coach Fisher, we communicate. Me and we communicate, and the communication around here is real good, so I never have to worry about anything.
Though Winston himself is carefree, Noles fans may worry about the toll playing two sports on the collegiate level takes on a young athlete.
The busier I can get is the better for me. It's hard on the body, but it's fun. It's fun. I'm young, and I'm pretty sure I can make it.
Several other Seminoles tested the limits of their bodies this spring. Defensive back Marquez White joined the basketball team, seeing minutes off the bench during the Noles' run to the NIT semifinals. Fellow DB Jalen Ramsey is a long jumper with FSU track, and he says the ability to play both sports was a big factor in deciding to come to FSU.
I really do love track, and especially if I can go help out, the Noles on the track too, win some more championships, get some more rings on my finger, I'm all for it.
Each sport teaches you a different mental capacity, not just for the actual sport, but the competition of it, and how you got to think, how you got to prepare, the successes, the failures, how quick they are, how much you got to respond. I think that all develops you, and the more you actually in live competition, I think it creates a better player.
No secret to success for Coach Jimbo Fisher, Brad. Competition will breed that success. But the worst-kept secret this spring was Florida State changing their athletics logo.
Yes, the new logo, the new Seminole head, definitely drawing a reaction a couple of weeks ago when it was released. But last night, it was the official unveiling, a slightly different reaction, mostly positive, and new uniforms for the Florida State teams. We're going to take a look at that. Plus, we're even going to look at some of the reactions that people have been sending in about the spring game that just finished up, all when we come back in just a couple of minutes.
Get $6,000 off all new 2015 Kia Sorrentos in stock, or drive them away for just $299 a month with no money out of pocket. That's right, your tax and fees are included. Only at Kia Autosport, where we want to see ya in a Kia.
If you don't buy a car at Kraft Nissan, you don't get a lifetime warranty. If you don't get a lifetime warranty, when your car breaks down, you end up riding a scooter. When you ride a scooter, real bikers make you nervous. When real bikers make you nervous, you start wearing leather pants and get a mom tattoo. When you get a mom tattoo, your wife runs off with Billy the pool guy. Don't let your wife run off with Billy the pool guy. Buy your car at Kraft Nissan, or you'll pay too much, way too much, and you won't have a lifetime warranty.
Mechanics have a bad image where they're taking advantage of different people, but when a woman gets involved in it, they communicate a lot better than a big old burly guy coming out and saying, hey, you need all this work on your car. So with the communication that she has and the skills she has and the knowledge she has with cars, I mean, it's pretty remarkable. It really is.
I've been blessed by faith and a wonderful woman who's my oncologist.
My daughter is my inspiration.
My mom raised a warrior. Thanks, Mom.
Florida Cancer Specialists, they're like my family.
Florida Cancer Specialists celebrates the millions of patients whose lives have inspired us. Nearly 200 physicians, over 80 locations. We're with you every step of your journey. Online at flcancer.com.
At Kia Autosport this month, drive away an all-new 2014 Kia Optima for just $19,678 or $299 a month. That's a purchase, not a lease, and it's no money out of pocket. Only at Kia Autosport, where we want to see ya in a Kia.
Titan Doppler Radar is sponsored by Kraft Nissan.
And welcome back to our Garnet and Gold preseason special here live outside of Doak Campbell Stadium. The crowds for these Garnet and Gold spring games just keep getting larger and larger. Season tickets selling out at record paces. And as our very own ABC 27's Brittany Kleinpeter found out, well, if it's good for the team to get big crowds for games, it's also good for the Tallahassee community.
Florida State's recent national championship title isn't just making fans happy, but businesses in the area as well.
Probably one of the best years we've had in over 35 years of business.
Florida State's excellent football season and a recent national championship win may be making people shop more, travel more, and spending a little bit more money to buy tickets to fill these stands.
Yeah, we're excited to be kind of back where we used to be in terms of season tickets. We're just 1,000 tickets short of a complete sellout.
Hotels in the area already seeing benefits from the increase in ticket holders for the 2014 football season.
We are on track for a complete sellout. We'll be sold out by July at the latest.
There's no question that football is a big driver in this market. It's a football town, and it brings a lot of business to Tallahassee.
No matter who you're a fan of, most will agree that what's good for Florida State football is good for Tallahassee business.
We're an important part of this partnership that is Tallahassee, and there's no question that when you sell a lot of tickets and people are coming to games, they're buying meals in restaurants, they're buying hotel rooms, they're buying gasoline, which helps the taxes, which pays for our schools and everything else.
Brittany Kleinpeter, WTXL, ABC 27, dedicated to you.
Well, Dave, I really think it's safe to say that the fans are always going to be behind these Seminoles. Now, the same can't be said, at least initially, for the new Seminole Head logo that was leaked out just a little prematurely last week. Of course, some of that sentiment has changed over the past few days.
I will say that it is a very vocal, probably minority that really doesn't like this new logo at all. We actually saw a protest out here outside of the Unconquered statue. There were all of probably about 8 people saying how much they really don't like the new logo. But you mentioned that logo. Officially yesterday, Florida State released that logo along with some new uniforms that received much more widespread praise. Public perception was all good from the start with them. Brad, you mentioned the lukewarm at best reaction from some fans with the logo. Or they're going to have to get around to liking it because current players like a superstar quarterback who's also a Heisman Trophy winner who they like a whole lot hold a different opinion.
It's lively to me, man. I love the new feather because our old feather was kind of plain, but this feather is swag. So, I love it. And it's really not about the logo or whatever. It's about us going out there and being a Seminole.
Jameis sounds like Mike Martin there. He's been listening to him talk all about being a true Seminole.
It does rub off on you if you spend enough time with 11.
Me too.
Well, you know, a lot of fans have been talking about the new uniforms, the new logo, even the spring game, and all of our reporters have been very closely watching Twitter, Facebook, all of social media. Let's check now back at the ABC 27 studios where Christina Resnick is standing by and has some of those comments from the fans.
Hey guys, yeah, as you mentioned, there's a lot of mixed feelings about this new logo design. Some Seminole fans even started Twitter and Facebook petitions to get rid of it after it was leaked last week. And when it was officially released by Florida State University yesterday, we got on Facebook to find out what some of you are saying about it. Sharon says, always liked the name in the feather. Tommy also says, looks great, go Noles. But others aren't quite as positive. Michael told us, I can't believe they didn't listen to any fans and just did that. And Donna says, ugga bugga, that's Seminole for yuck.
I'm not sure if that's actually Seminole for yuck, but I can't say one way or the other.
That's right.
I haven't Googled it yet. But
we should find that out. We're going to look into it. Donna says it is.
Yeah. Okay, we'll keep you posted on Twitter, too. I mean, everyone's on Facebook and Twitter. Just follow us there, and we'll update you if that's actually Seminole.
We'll find out.
Yuck. I seriously doubt it, though. She also spelled yuck wrong. Did you notice that? Y-U-K?
I did.
It's not like Y2K.
I did notice it, but that's what she put, so.
Gorgeous weather for the game.
We did. We had great weather for the
goodness.
game. I wish I could have been there. I know you probably did, too.
Yeah, no, I wish I was, too. But it was a little bit on the warm side if you were in the stadium. See, we only got in the mid-80s, and we're still at 83 in Tallahassee, but inside the stadiums, when you're with people and you're near that cement, things feel like the upper 80s around the area. Right now, actually, it is in the upper 80s in Valdosta, 81 in Homerville. Titan radar, clean sweep of the skies. It was dry out there, and there wasn't that humidity out there either. It was very, very comfortable, even though it was very warm as well. Tonight, we'll dip down into the low 50s. Tomorrow, pretty much a carbon copy day to what we're seeing today. Temperatures getting into the 80s. So we're a little bit more on the humid side, but check out that average. 79 degrees, we're going to soar well above it. Checking out that 7-day forecast, well, we have a little bit of active weather there. You can see coming up early in the work week next week, but overall we're talking about just a little bit more rainfall on your Monday and on Tuesday as well. And we'll keep you posted at WTXL.tv with more information about that before we cool down and dry off a little bit more on the back end of that system.
All right, sounds good, Max.
Yep.
We've got more live coverage with Dave and Brad coming up in just 2 minutes. Stay with us.
The reason to bring it to us is, first of all, we're not going to charge you for checking it out. A lot of places you'll go and you'll spend $100 and you'll know what's wrong with it, but nothing's fixed. So we'd rather you spend that $100 on making the repair. Anything you need done, we'll take care of and we'll check it out at no cost. Service, honesty, and caring. 3 main things.
If you don't buy a Cardcraft Nissan, you don't get a lifetime warranty. If you don't get a lifetime warranty, when your car breaks down, you end up riding a scooter. When you ride a scooter, real bikers make you nervous. When real bikers make you nervous, you start wearing leather pants and get a mom tattoo. When you get a mom tattoo, your wife runs off with Billy the Pool Guy. Don't let your wife run off with Billy the Pool Guy. Buy your Cardcraft Nissan, or you'll pay too much, way too much, and you won't have a lifetime warranty.
Sports brought to you in part by Dairy Queen. It's fan food, not fast food.
Welcome back to WTXL ABC 27 Spring Football Special. In 2013, Jameis Winston always pointed to an elite, experienced group of receivers as the reason for his success. Well, now in 2014, that group is going to look remarkably different. With the departure of Kelvin Benjamin and Kenny Shaw, Florida State loses 108 receptions and 21 touchdowns from 2013. Though favorite targets Rashad Green and Nick O'Leary return, the Noles must break in a new crop of receivers. At times this spring, it hasn't been pretty.
What are you seeing from the young wide receivers?
Not enough. Need a lot of work. Need to get a lot better.
This new group is made up of sophomores Isaiah Jones and Kermit Whitfield, along with redshirt freshman Bobo Wilson. Some older receivers also hope to make a greater impact this year, including seniors Christian Green, 13 catches a year ago, and Scooter Higgins, who missed 2013 with a knee injury.
I always take the best of my opportunities, so any opportunity that I do get, I will make the best of it. And I know they're going to come.
We trust all the guys we got. I mean, that's why we come to Florida State, to win championships, and we know we got great players.
Unquestionably, the greatest player in Garnet and Gold is Jameis Winston himself. His development this spring has been centered on learning how to play with these new wideouts who don't know the system quite as well as he does.
Early what he was doing was trying to compensate a little bit. Well, I know he can't do this, so I'll throw it here, even though the read, you can't do that. We'll get those receivers to his level, and he's been forcing them to do that, and I think been very sharp the last couple of days.
Bringing young receivers to the level of a Heisman Trophy quarterback would certainly be difficult. 4 of them caught touchdown passes today. Rashad Golston, Rashad Green, Scooter Higgins, and Bobo Wilson.
Yeah, but to use one of Jimbo Fisher's favorite terms, it's all about consistency, not just flashes of greatness.
Process.
Well, you know, over on the defensive side, there were a lot of questions heading into spring football practices, some major holes for the Noles to fill off of that team from last year. Team leaders Timmy Jernigan, Christian Jones, Telvin Smith, and LaMarcus Joyner are all going to be heading off to the NFL. The Noles also lost defensive coordinator Jeremy Pruitt, who bolted for the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, Charles Kelly, he stepped up to take over the defense, and there's a wealth of talent on that side of the ball. So even though there is a new man calling the plays, the schemes, they're basically the same, and the players, well, they seem to have a much better grasp of all those concepts this time around.
Well, it does. I mean, they know it, the coaches know it, so everybody's, a lot farther along, and it showed, there's no doubt.
We pretty much keeping the same scheme. He gonna let us do what we got to do, and with techniques and stuff like that, so we pretty much doing the same thing. So
saying nothing has changed. Maybe just the way we call it, maybe a different name, but overall the defense, the way we run things, the way the coverage is absolutely the same.
A few new faces on that side of the ball, but a wealth of talent.
Made some big plays today. We'll be right back to Doak Campbell Stadium in just a few minutes.
Get $6,000 off all new 2015 Kia Sorrentos in stock, or drive them away for just $299 a month with no money out of pocket. That's right, your tax and fees are included. Only at Kia Autosport, where we want to see ya in a Kia.
I've been blessed by faith and a wonderful woman who's my oncologist.
My daughter is my inspiration.
My mom raised a warrior. Thanks, Mom.
Florida Cancer Specialists, they're like my family.
Florida Cancer Specialists celebrates the millions of patients whose lives have inspired us. Nearly 200 physicians, over 80 locations. We're with you every step of your journey. Online at flcancer.com.
Here is your ABC 27 primetime lineup, sponsored by the Florida Lottery.
The stacks are even more impressive in person. Come build yours today.
At Kia Autosport this month, drive away an all-new 2014 Kia Optima for just $19,678 or $299 a month. That's a purchase, not a lease, and it's no money out of pocket. Only at Kia Autosport, where we want to see ya in a Kia.
Skycam brought to you by Napleton Infiniti, home of the 289 Infiniti. The Garnet and Gold Preseason Special on WTXL ABC 27 is brought to you by the following sponsors: Florida Cancer Specialists, Kia Autosport, Dr. Ronald Willis of Centerpoint Dental, Tallahassee Community College, Bob's Auto Repair and Collision, and Kraft Nissan.
And we're still live here at Doak Campbell Stadium. Dave, wrapping this thing up, some final thoughts on spring football.
Well, I want to see if the running backs can stay healthy heading into the fall. All 4 scholarship players out for this spring practice. We'll see what they do in the fall.
It's going to be a lot of fun. A little bit over 4 months before Florida State back on the field. It's going to be a fun ride in 2014. Thanks for joining us, everybody.